Oh hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to Pipe Dream Hookah. I'm Adrian Hunter, the only person that makes content for this channel. Don't know why I keep feeling the need to introduce myself, but I'll keep doing it anyway. Today we're going to go right back to the Fakher series. This is going to be Fakher series number, I have no clue. Thank goodness for editing. Somewhere it'll tell you on the screen. But today we're going to be doing Blueberry Mint. Now initially I thought I was going to do a different flavor today, but I kind of want to move into doing some other Fakher stuff besides just the single note flavor series type deal. Maybe some mixes, some popular ones I wanted to go over. Stuff like that, maybe doing some mix contests. I don't really know yet, but there's a reason I want to cover this flavor, and some of you might already know and some of you may not already know. That said, you guys know exactly how the Fakher series goes. We're going to be judging this blueberry mint flavor on the scent, the taste, and the cloud output, as well as a few other varying factors, so everyone knows what I'm smoking it out of. This is actually going to be a Don bowl. This specific model is going to be the Don Evil. I was actually lucky enough to pick one of these up from Sky Hookah Distribution over at the Chicago Hookah Meetup, and you're going to pack it a lot like you pack it in an Egyptian bowl. There's a link down below to see how I pack Fakher into an Egyptian bowl, and hopefully if I took my pictures right you can kind of see how I packed it here. It's going to be a little bit different because the Don Evil is pretty deep. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start analyzing this stuff, and we'll start with the scent of the tobacco. Okay, I'm getting two things, and you probably should because it's a two-note flavor. I'm getting that Fakher Mint is one of the first things that jumps out at me because it's just strong in this mix for whatever reason. Like, there's a good amount of the Fakher Mint, and it's going to smell exactly like the single-note Fakher Mint. But the other flavor that's kind of coming out at me is going to be this fake-ass blueberry flavor, and what it really smells like is those Nutrigrain blueberry bars. If you guys have ever had one of those, that's exactly what this smells like to me. Hopefully that translates to some of you. I know not everyone eats Nutrigrain bars on a daily basis like I do. But that's really what I'm going to get. It's going to be kind of this artificial blueberry scent. It's not necessarily going to be candied, but it's going to smell a lot more sweet than a natural blueberry. It actually comes across as quite tart. But let's move right on to everybody's favorite thing and check out the cloud content that this stuff can produce. Was anyone surprised? Probably not. Fakher can produce pretty decent clouds. They're not going to be as large as some of the other brands on the market like Trifecta. I'm not going to start naming brands. But there are brands that make better clouds than Fakher. But these are fine, they're big, puffy, fluffy, and white, all that good stuff. Now let's go ahead and move on to the most important thing when we're critically analyzing any shisha tobacco, and that's going to be the flavor profile, obviously. We're going to do it like we always do on this channel, both on the inhale and the exhale, because I do find that the flavor profiles tend to differ just a little bit between the two. Let's start with the inhale. Okay, so on the inhale of the flavor profile on this tobacco, it's going to taste a lot like it smells, except it's going to be a little bit sweeter. It's pleasantly sweet. It's not going to be like oversweet and like a super candied flavor, which a lot of you know I'm not a huge fan of, honestly. But you're going to have that artificial blueberry flavor as well as a really good amount of that mint right at the forefront. It's going to be pretty strong, but it's not going to overpower the bowl or anything like that. Just imagine if you've already smoked some Fakher in your smoking career so far. Imagine you put like 25% Fakher mint in a bowl with like 75% of your other Fakher flavor. That's kind of how the mint to blueberry ratio is on the inhale. Let's go ahead and move on to the exhale. Like a lot of the Fakher flavors on the exhale, the mint's going to come down just a little bit and you're going to get more of that blueberry flavor. But overall, the flavor profile is going to come down just a little bit. It's going to be dimmed by like, I don't know, 10%. And that'll do it for the flavor. Now before I go ahead and rate this stuff in the 7 scale for you guys like you do on the Pipe Dream Hookah channel, let's go ahead and talk about a few other minor things that go into how this performs. First, we're going to skim right through this. How does it take heat? Like all Fakher flavors, just make sure you don't overheat your bowl. I've got 3 cubes on this bowl right here, and that's fine because the Evil bowl is pretty massive and it is underpacked by just a little bit. As far as longevity goes, you'll probably get a round and a half of holes. Fakher doesn't really go the whole 2 rounds all the time. Sometimes it does. This flavor, not so much. I think about the hour, 20, hour, and 30 minute mark, you're probably going to see some flavor die down, but you're still going to be able to smoke it all the way through your second round of coals if you want to. Oh, and as usual, Fakher doesn't really pack any head buzz. If you're a newer smoker, you might notice a little bit, but other than that, I wouldn't expect anything. Taking all of those factors into account, I'm going to go ahead and rate this stuff at a solid 5 out of 7. Now, the reason it's not going to go higher than a 5 out of 7 is pretty simple. I'm a little impartial to this type of flavor. I like to use this in mixes. Even though it's not a candy flavor, it's a little bit sweet, and that's not my preference when I'm smoking tobacco. So you could probably bump it up if you like sweet flavors. And then, honestly, when it comes to Fakher, like other than their double apple and their mint and stuff, it's a very, I wouldn't call it a beginner brand, but it's something that's very accessible, and I think there's just tobaccos that perform way better than Fakher for the most part, so you won't typically see me giving Fakher something like a 7 out of 7. And it's not going to go lower because it performs as well as any of their Fakher flavor. It's Fakher, it's going to perform really well. If you've ever smoked it, you already know what I'm talking about. If you haven't smoked Fakher, go buy some from your favorite vendor. That said, I'm going to wrap this video up real quick. I want to do a little plug. I'm not going to be pushing this too hard, but I do have some merch for you guys. Link in the description below. It's a simple t-shirt. They're $20. It's got my logo on it. If you like my channel and you want to wear a cool piece of clothing with my stuff on it, support the channel a little bit, go ahead and buy one. If you think my content's garbage or you're like, hell, I like watching the free videos, I don't want to put any money into this, I don't blame you. I don't buy everyone's merch either. Don't buy it. It's up to you. But all in all, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, everybody, happy smoking.